Hello everyone, welcome back to The Rise of the Golden Idol. We finished off Chapter 3, The Machine, last video, although I struggled a lot with one of the puzzles and just brute forced it in the end. We're on to the Trials. Welcome to the penultimate part, Chapter 4, The Trials, in which mind-bending discoveries are made. So there are 5 chapters, apparently. That's an Eldritch Horror? Actually, it's probably a bird. Feathered Frenzy. A deadly attack at the aviary. Wow, a lot of birds. Is that a police siren we hear going by? Yes. Well, I guess it could be birds. Huh, and it's actually just a one-screen scene, which we haven't seen for a while. Say that. Oh, no, I take it back. We can go over there. Say that 5 times fast. This person is probably dead? I don't see them breathing. They're like clutching an ear or an eye or something. Wow, this is a heck of a thing. Okay. And then over at the... Oh no, there's 4 different bird foods. Over at the office, not much is happening. No one's here. They're all over here getting eaten alive by birds. Well, I like to take in the scene ahead of time and see if I can, discover the overall theme of what's happening, but it does seem to have been made pretty clear in this one that birds are attacking. Oh, what are you holding in your little sneaky little beak? A bracelet with runes on it. These are Golden Idol runes. Right? I don't know what this one is, but this is increase, I think? I've forgotten now. I thought it was decrease, but then I got confused because the lady in the last chapter had things wrong. But I don't remember. I used to know what it was, and then she confused me, and now I no longer do. And this one I think we've seen in the last game, although not this one. I don't remember what it means. This one we've seen, and the lady Tessa thought it meant empathy, but it doesn't. Okay. Nothing interesting going on here. Nothing worth examining, huh? Look at you, though. Declan, what did you do? Oh, Declan. Why does that name sound familiar to me? It's from some fictional property, right? Let me just look that up. It's obviously not relevant to this game. I'm just suddenly... Declan... Fictional character? From a soap opera... Huh. Nothing I've ever heard of is coming up here. Or nothing I've watched or read, anyway. Declan, why is this... Huh. A key labeled aviary. I wonder where that could go. And a big old jar of shredded paper. Broken. Maybe. Or at least there's a crack in it. Yeah, obviously it might not be shredded paper. I doubt it is, but I... can't really say what it is. Feathers, maybe? White feathers? I don't see a lot of white birds lying around. Oh man, look at all this writing on the ground. Those shoes, we're being zoomed in specifically to note, have kind of white smudge on the... Someone's been walking in white smudgy stuff. Okay. I'm leaving all this writing for later, man. Let's look at the body. Incubator and aviary. Oh, that's the OPIG logo. Okay. Trial volunteer form. And they have yellow feathers, I guess. The man is not breathing and his neck is bleeding. Yeah, this looks more like feathers to me. Are these... These are clearly eggs. Yeah, get out of here. I'll look at you when I want to, please. Are these are broken eggs, right? Yeah, that's what those are. A bird. Yeah, good. I've learned the word bird from that. Nothing more detailed. Are you a real bird or are you a statue? It's a bird. Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm getting the idea that these might be birds. Rawr. I didn't know. Rawr. That's a parrot. I'm sorry. It's nothing. Is that rawr? It's like rawr? Okay. Usually I would draw it with a K, but rawr? A T makes sense. Sure. If you ever wanted to hear me make parrot noises, today's your day, I guess. So I've identified which ones are parrots. They're saying, I'm sorry and I didn't know. Oh, there's another little mini scene in here. You found someplace safe to hide? Birds can't get in here for some reason? The time is currently 12:40 in the afternoon, I suppose. These are eggs incubating, one of them broken. The incubator is on and the bulb is hot to the touch, so it wasn't just turned on, which it might be if it weren't hot to the touch. Overexposure to heat from the incubator could prove fatal. Always remember to check on the eggs after putting them inside. Okay, so that's just to give me the word overheated, I guess. Why? He promised to take care of you. And these are like black feathers. Aviary and incubator. The bird is dead. What did you have the keys to? Okay, incubator and aviary. You just had aviary, so you didn't have the keys to the incubator for some reason. So this door must be closed and locked, I'm guessing. Is why whoever's in there isn't getting eaten alive by birds. Alright, let's leave this writing still for later. I didn't miss anything else in here, did I? I don't think so. Feeding schedule. Well, we know Declan is on the schedule for the current time at its unusual. Although, I mean, it's getting close to feeding time to 1 p.m. So maybe Marcy is in there planning to... I don't know. Like, I mean, yeah, it's much closer to the 1 p.m. feeding time than the 11 a.m. It's not like they start feeding hatchlings at 11 and go for 2 hours. And it's currently still hatchling feeding time. I imagine they just spend several minutes feeding or something and then it's over. So the next feeding would be 1 p.m., but the previous one was 11 a.m. Declan fed the hatchling most recently, and it was unusual because normally... Well... At 9, both of them fed. At 11... It looks like Marcy was going to, but was crossed off. Because there's no plus here. If it were going to be Marcy and Declan, but Marcy was canceled, there'd be a plus here, but Marcy would be crossed off. So it was Marcy's job, but Declan is doing it for some reason. Okay. Thanks again for running the incubation station for me, Declan. See you after lunch. Huh. Okay. Daily notes. August 29th, new employee starts. Safety and handling training at 3. Okay. You might think that would be earlier in the day. If the new employee is, I mean... Like, I guess you just, like, you know, the new employee is going to work in the office all day that day, I guess. Can't let him in there until they've had the safety training. August 30th, Declan lunch break, 12 to 1:15. So... Declan could be on break if today is the 30th. We don't know yet. Miller Lorry. Black sunflower seeds for the flower piercer. I guess Miller is the kind of food. Corn for the grouse. White bone meal for the herald. Oh, bad news. I don't know which of those is a kind of parrot or capable of talking. More. To the one who stole my heart. Okay. Aster. Appointment at 12:30 on August 30th. New employee. Okay, so Morag Aviary is where we are. This is the new employee guide. So the new employee is Mr. or Mrs. Astor. They have an appointment at 12:30 on the 30th. I mean... If today were the 30th, the new employee would not be here today. Right? Or at this, they wouldn't be here at this time because their appointment would be at OPIG. So I think we can conclude today is the 29th. And they haven't gotten their safety training, and that's why things have gone awry. So Declan's lunch break isn't really relevant? Maybe? Also, I guess, if today were the 30th, Declan would be gone as well, right? Okay, Palmer. A travel guide. Steps for training new employees. So Palmer is, I don't know, the boss, sort of? A mentor, anyway. Guide to birds. Oh, please tell me this shows up in a little... Nope. Symbols? No, that's the overarching story. Okay. I don't want to have to piece these together in my head. Flower piercer is known for nature. May react aggressively. Don't bring anything neon inside its habitat to prevent agitation. I'm going to just click through all these and not read them and see if it puts them in some place where I can examine them better. And if not, I'll go look at them again. Okay, fuck you, I guess. / me. Alright. Flower piercers. Like, you invented this whole windowing system for moving this shit around. And it doesn't even help because it gets in the way of stuff all the time anyway. And the one time you give me windows that I want to piece together, I can't do it. In the original game, there was a thing like this where you had to put together, the left and right halves of some paragraphs, and they put a little thing in the thinking panel so you could see them, or you could like line them up with each other, as I recall. Or maybe it automatically did it for you and you just had to figure out who they were written to. I don't think so, but maybe. I don't actually remember piecing it together, so maybe it was just a freebie. But, man, they have windows. If I could drag these around, it would be so great. So where did I get the word Declan? It was here. Yeah, so Declan is not on lunch break. Probably. I guess you could be cursing Declan for having done something earlier. But probably you're talking to Declan. And the new employee is saying, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Probably. Like, this dead person is probably the new employee. Well, maybe. Why would they have keys to both places if they were not the new employee? Or if they were the new employee, I mean. The bleary-eyed something. Do any of these look bleary to you? Hard to say. The flower piercer? I mean, if I had to guess, it's the one with the sharp nose, but... Being a bird keeper is hard work. But if you follow this guide, you will have no trouble taking care of our feathered friends. Okay, so these two go together. This excitable bird is known for its curious nature. The flower piercer may react aggressively towards bright colors. Don't bring anything neon inside its habitat. Okay. Here's a lorry. Okay, can we find out? Use its colored feathers as a method of intimidating its predators and prey? Or against predators and prey? Its piercing cries often mimic the sounds. Okay. So they seem like they're in order, at least. I still just wish I could put them next to each other. Speaking will cause the birds to scream. Terrifying creatures. Goodness. Oh. Nithaleg's Herald. Okay. They scavenge for bones. Silence is required. Loud noises will set off attack and triggering their self-defense mechanism. Well, so the lorry just screams. Like, this is a lorry, right? They just repeat what they recently heard. And they scream. But they don't attack when they hear noise, whereas the herald does attack when it hears noise. The red-breasted heron. This is just so miserable. Why are you making me do this? Just get... It's so easy to piece together the pages of the book. Why not give me the pages of the book? Like... But it's easy conceptually, but very difficult in the UI for no reason. Okay, known for its bright plumage, feeds on its prey, has teeth? Extremely sharp teeth. The masked something. You, maybe? Bug-eyed, yellow-footed, yeah? Is endangered despite its predator status. Extremely territorial. Hides its eggs in bushes. Okay, well, sure. Ah, the little smudge on your foot is because you stepped on an egg. Belonging to this guy, I guess. Okay. So, you're a lorry, right? Is that what we... Yeah. Morag Aviary's lorry. No, wait. Morag Aviary's Guide to Birds, Bleary-Eyed Lorry. they're all not that hard to get names for the birds, at least. Aside from the nuisance of going back and forth. You're a grouse, specifically a masked grouse. That makes sense. Where's the word masked? The masked. I see. Heron is known... I mean, it has teeth. This is a red-breasted heron, I would argue. I mean, look at it. And you, I mean, you must be the other one, right? Wait, am I confused here? It's the Death Rattle Lori. Why did I put Bleary-Eyed Lori? I don't know if I figured out what kind of bird this is. Loud noises could set off their attack, but we don't know. Like, these don't look like especially bright colors. This is kind of bright, but... Also, is this the same kind of bird as this? It isn't, right? Oh, there are... Okay, we have to get all... Okay. I only noticed 4 birds originally, but there are... Okay. So how many bird types do we have? 1, 2... Wait, start here. 1... 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we do have all of them. We have masked and red-breasted. We have the Lori, which is from this page, right? No. I mean, you don't look like you're wearing anything neon. I guess maybe this bracelet, this Opig bracelet could count? Maybe. We haven't figured out what's up with the herald either. Loud noises. Okay. Well, with just what I understand of the situation now, I don't think I can definitively say which of these birds are which. What are the names I have left for them? Bleary-eyed something. I mean, I wouldn't really describe either of them as... You look kind of bleary, maybe. Maybe? Bleary-eyed flower piercer. I mean, these look like flower-piercing beaks to me, more than these do. These look more like meat-eating beaks. And this guy's got some neon in his mouth, so, like, maybe, but that's not exactly a great bit of evidence. Okay, fine. So... well, if one of them was agitated by this... then that would be the one that cares about neon, right? You were clearly upset by someone stepping in the egg. What is this? What did you do? Oh, is this bird a scavenger? Nethalix. Oh, it also describes... No, wait. They scavenge for bones. I mean, you look like a scavenger, and bones... Like, it makes sense. You appear to be triggered by this person on the ground. But I don't know, I mean... I'm not even sure quite what it's asking me. Like, what does it mean to be triggered by this? Triggered by the corpse? To go scavenge it? Or triggered by a noise it was making? Like someone screaming set off this bird. And then this bird screaming set off the other one that cares about noise. Oh, they're not even asking me what set you off. You're just kind of chilling. Well, I know you're a Death Rattle Lori, huh? So someone speaking set you off. Probably Declan? Like, Declan, what did you do? Why did you scream? Right? Oh, and then this person's dead, but they said, oops, I'm sorry, and now this person's saying, I'm sorry. The bird is saying, I'm sorry, because they heard it recently, and that set off some other birds. I mean, it looks like you've been set off by Neon, by this thing, maybe. So you might be... Wait, the bleary-eyed and the flower piercer? Oh, it's a bleary-eyed flower piercer? Yeah, okay. Well, we'll say that that's who you are. Bleary-eyed. And I did say their eyes look sort of bleary with that weird cross through them. Flower piercer. Which would make you the... Nethalix... something? Herald? No. Yeah. Herald. He promised... Oh, have I not read this? Oh, the bird is dead. I have read it, but I didn't remember doing it. He promised to take care of you. Who? What? I don't remember reading this text. I definitely clicked on this person, but I didn't pay enough attention. So overexposure. This egg is cracked. Why is that important? Because whoever... Oh, I see. Declan was supposed to pay attention to the incubator, but it's been remarked somewhere. Oh, it's in the it's next to the incubator, isn't it? The instructions for use. Yeah, remember you got to check on the eggs. And she's in here crying because Declan messed up the eggs. Because one of the eggs is broken. She maybe has even missed out on all this commotion? I mean... I don't think that, like, on a new employee's first or second day... First, I think... I don't think you would say, hey, I know I'm scheduled to run the incubator, but can you do that? See you after lunch? I don't know about that. But how many names do I have? I have to spend 16 names. And I'm given 17, I think, right? So one of these names is a red herring. I wonder if Declan isn't here. But then, like, who are these three people? If none of them are Declan, Declan's another person who works here, right? Why doesn't Declan have a locker? It's sort of obvious to say, like, these other two are women. Declan is a man's name. This is Declan. But, I mean, Declan might not be here, like I'm saying, right? There's one person. So let's actually move the bird names out of here. I don't necessarily have them all, like, right. But I just don't want them cluttering up the names of humans. So, Morag is the name of the aviary, isn't it? Morag Aviary's Guide to Birds. So I don't think any of these people are named Morag. Which leaves me with just 6 names. For people. And there are 6 names I have to use on people, right? Marcy and Crystal are pretty feminine names. So, I mean, I'm inclined to say that, yeah, it is the guy on the ground who's Declan. The other 2, I don't think I know their first names yet. But I mean, you must be the new guy, right? It's a little weird because you have this OPIG trial volunteer form, and the new employee also has an OPIG appointment note. But I think you're Declan, and I don't think Declan's the new guy. Right? Like, yeah, and the hatching, okay, hatchling, I mean, I don't know. The incubation station and the hatchling, it sort of sounds to me like this might be Marcy, or Marcy, I think it was Marcy. Because, oh, she's not crying about this necessarily, although maybe it's sad? The bird must have just hatched. I don't know, like, the bird died. Declan said he would take care of it. Right? Like, he said he was going to take care of the incubation station. But also, he was moved to hatchling care. And the hatchling is the thing that's dead. So he said he would take care of you. That's got to be Declan. And I think it must be Marcy who's, like, now checking and saying, oh, geez, you know, this thing sure is dead. Maybe, but also, like, you wouldn't have the new guy go out and feed the heron all by themselves, would you? I don't know. This schedule doesn't make sense for anybody's first day. Especially with the new employee training, right? So, like, it has to be August 30th, even though it doesn't make total sense. Because the new employee, I mean, I don't know. This scene suggests the new employee did not get their safety training yet, right? But it's just like so woefully incompetent to have all this happening on the 29th that I just can't make myself believe it. Like, yeah, people make bad decisions, but come on. I guess this was the 70s when corporations didn't have to worry about the safety of their employees at all. They would just, shove kids into the wood chipper or something. I don't know. OPIG trial volunteer form. I mean, these two have keys to the incubator, and you don't. Right? You... But why are you shouting, Declan, what did you do? If you're the new person. Like, this seems like the new guy, right? Because someone's saying, I'm sorry I didn't know, recently, via parrots. And it's not you, because you're over here. You said it, right? Okay, let's think more about bird food types, because that's not a thing they're asking me. But it is telling me, like, what kind of food is responsible for feeding what kind of bird. Correlate that with the feeding schedule, we can maybe get closer to the bird names. So, I don't think anyone has any blue... I guess it's actually black food, but any of the stuff in the blue box. Oh, millet, not Miller. I read it wrong earlier. Okay. So, white bone meal for the Herald. Yellow corn for the grouse. Black sunflower seeds for the flower piercer. So you have sunflower seeds. Black sunflower seeds for the flower piercer. You kind of have to be Marcy, right? I think so. Which is also what I thought from Marcy supposed to check in on the hatchling, right? So that makes sense. Declan, I've forgotten what you had. Well, I think you're Declan anyway. Corn, I think. For the grouse. Which would be Declan. At 1 p.m., so it makes sense. And black sunflower seeds were the other one, right? Or did I already look at that? White bone meal for the Herald. That's Crystal. That's you. You're Crystal. So this adds up. And we have to figure out their last names. Well... What is this, by the way? Oh, a little... They have pictures of previous hatchlings, or even the current one, that they just love. Thanks for running the incubation station. See you after your lunch. The grouse gets fed twice a day, apparently. Is that interesting? Why don't we see any millet? Did Lori not get fed today? It happened earlier, I guess. Okay. So, does this picture look... It should depict one of the two. One of the employees here, right? It looks like it probably is Crystal, right? Pretty convincing likeness. I wish I could put them next to each other, but yeah, that looks like Crystal. And it's in Moore's locker. And it doesn't look, neither of the people in the picture look anything like Marcy or Declan. So yeah, that's clearly Crystal's locker. Why is there a travel guide? That's just so... Nothing mentions travel at all. I mean, I feel like Declan is the new guy. And I guess it makes sense with, like, she's saying, Declan, what did you do? And someone, presumably the corpse, said, I'm sorry, I didn't know, because Declan's the new guy and nobody trained him. But this just doesn't make sense. I mean, I'm going to put it in. I've already said Declan's the new guy. Well, I've said Declan's the dead guy. I'm now saying Declan Astor is the dead guy, the new guy. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't like it. Like, I'm still confused about what day it is. Is it the 29th or the 30th? It's between 12 and 1, and Declan's right here. If it were the 30th, Declan would be at lunch. He would not be in the aviary. So it must be the 29th, but they gave Declan tons of duties in the aviary before the training, the safety training, and everyone's like, why didn't you know, you idiot? And he's like, well, you didn't tell me. Sorry, I'm the dead one, not you. Like, quit complaining. I just don't get it. Okay, so we identified the bird types. Which is the one that cares about neon? I mean, I think it's this one, and you are called Bleary-Eyed Flower Piercer, so let's see if that's true. Bleary-Eyed Flower Piercer, you shouldn't bring neon. I think Declan set you off, and you set off the other ones. Yeah. Okay. Fine. So I guess we're writing first about Marcy Palmer crying over the dead bird or something. When she discovered, yes, that a bird... Get this bleary-eyed out of here, will you? Thank you. That a hatchling had died. Had overheated, I guess? Sure. Meanwhile, Declan, last name Astor, entered the aviary where his bracelet was stolen by a bird. This one, the bleary-eyed flower piercer. Following this encounter, he went to... I'm not totally sure what they're getting at here, but clearly he stepped on eggs. Hidden in the bush. Did he go to recover his bracelet? Maybe, that makes sense. Is that a word? He went to... Oh, feed? I guess. And what is he feeding today? With corn? I don't remember what eats corn. A grouse. In retaliation, the masked grouse attacked him? Killing him? Kind of weird. Doesn't look like it could kill him. It looks like a little dork. His last screams were echoed, repeated, mimicked by you, which agitated you, right? Let's just check that you're the one who hates noise. The Herald, yeah. Nethalix Herald, that's you, all right. And then attacked Crystal. Yeah, not a big fan of this puzzle. The stuff that was, like, difficult, I don't... Okay. After volunteering in a trial during his lunch break, Declan Astor, a new employee at Mara Aviary, forgot to take the hatchling out of the incubator. Then, while attempting to feed the masked grouse, he stepped on its nest. The grouse killed Declan, indirectly agitating all the other birds. Yeah, I understand. But... am I... Okay, one thing I want to check. Did I misunderstand this? So I thought this was warning about overheating eggs. But it sounds like it's actually saying, if they've hatched, you gotta take them out so they don't get cooked? I don't know. But anyway, like, the stuff that was giving me trouble in this scenario, there's, like, no explanation for it. Like, I spent all this time on, like, well, surely they wouldn't do this before giving him any safety training. Why is the new guy doing all the work? Everyone's just like, hey, could you take my shift? And he's like, sure. And then they're like, hey, how come you screwed everything up? And, like... I guess it isn't the third... I don't know. I just don't understand. I still haven't figured out if today's the 29th or the 30th, because both answers are insane for different reasons. And, like... spreading the pages of the book was just an act of aggression against the player for no reason. I hated it. And, like, none of that was the fun part of the puzzle. I was just stuck with like, yeah, okay, everything here is obvious except the part that's obviously wrong, but that all the signs are pointing to. And eventually it was like, yeah, it was right, even though everything about it was stupid. So I would say this is my least favorite Golden Idol puzzle from both games so far. Let's see what we have next. Research engineer. Subject 37 did not arrive for his follow-up appointment. Project lead. Another scumbag took the money and ran. Referring to Subject 37, presumably. That's possible. Either way, we'll need to throw out his research data. But what do we do with the data disk? So I'm guessing that's Declan, right? He was supposed to show up for a follow-up appointment at OPIG. They paid him to show up, and he came to the first one and then left. And they're like, well, we gotta throw away that data. Yeah, don't think I can fill this in yet. I don't even have words, so there you go. Declan, thermometer to bird. Like grouse. Alright, well, at least I spent less time on it than some of the recent puzzles. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.